The FAA says a large number of those incidents are actually just people who refuse to wear a mask on a plane. ABC4's Jillian Smuckler on this story for us tonight. She joins us live from Salt Lake City International Airport to explain if this is happening here at home. Jillian.
Glenn, keep in mind you can't even hop on an airplane unless you're wearing one of these. But as you just heard, that hasn't stopped some passengers from pushing back. So I figured what better way to explain if people are actually following the rules in place than to show you. So starting right out front here, you don't have to wear a mask because you're outside. But that all changes the moment you walk through these two doors right here, enter the Salt Lake City International Airport. And the reason for this is because you are now required to wear a mask at all times while you're inside this building unless you're eating or drinking. So as you can see right here, it's definitely really quiet right now, but I was here earlier today when it was way more crowded, and I have to say the majority of the people inside were wearing masks, and even right now everybody who's in here is wearing a mask too. So that is very encouraging to see. So really the big question here tonight is, will all of this change once more people return to the sky?
With the CDC's recommendation that fully vaccinated people can ditch their mask both indoors and outdoors, many travelers are confused about what's allowed.
Not everybody's familiar with the fact that airports still do require the masks, but typically when we ask them to wear a mask, then people will comply.
That's because it's federal law to wear a mask on all forms of public transportation, including airplanes. But across the country, more and more travelers are becoming fed up with the rules. So much so that the FAA is strictly enforcing a zero-tolerance policy toward passengers who cause disturbances on flights or don't listen to flight crew's instructions. But at the Salt Lake City airport, that's not the case.
They wouldn't be asked to leave, but they would be gently reminded to wear a mask.
Employees will also give you one if needed. But what if someone just flat out refuses?
The fact of the matter is that they're going to have to put on a mask to fly anywhere. So at some point they will have to put a mask on.
And with the surge in summer travelers around the corner, the SLC airport is expecting to see an uptick in those who aren't wearing one. While Volmer agrees with the FAA's decision to crack down, she says their airport won't be following suit.
It's not like it's illegal not to wear a mask, but it's just a courtesy for other passengers.
So what do travelers think about the rules?
I do believe in the rules that are in place. If we don't follow them, there's just going to be more problems. So we need to follow the rules. They're there for our safety.
I don't necessarily think it should be a requirement. I think maybe at the beginning it should have been, but I think we're kind of coming out of it now.
And it is important to note tonight that the Federal Aviation Administration doesn't track unruly passenger cases by airport, so really we don't know exactly how many people here have refused to get a mask. But what I can tell you tonight is that all of the travelers that I spoke with here earlier today say the majority of the people that they've seen while traveling are following the rules for the simple fact that if you don't mask up, you can't fly. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Jillian Smuckler, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Jillian.